Whoa, before you get started, I have something to say. I don't suck. 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 I know one look is depressing to see. 'Cause you know you can't.
With the Muffler, Ryan Bruckner, I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan. This is my intro. Welcome to another balmy edition of Squared Circle Cinema. There's snow on the mountains, but it's 90 friggin' degrees down here in the valley.
There's snow on the mountains?
Darn right there is, yeah.
Sure that's not ash?
Yeah, I know. There's
Have you
fire
been-
on the hills and snow on the mountains. What a weird place to live.
Have you been just
Affected?
breathing in
Dude, I think
horrible air?
that's maybe why I've
a
been
week?
a little under the weather, and that's probably a huge contribution. I had my window open on Wednesday, just breathing in this funk. And this was from the Getty fire, which is 12 miles northwest of me. You know, that's how much of a scope. And this is one of several. I mean, Santa
yeah.
Clarita is on fire. You know, this is just the one
There's
that's
a Riverside
closest to
fire,
me.
a San Bernardino fire.
It's terrible. So the skies are still a hue of orange, and yeah, I'm breathing in that air quality. I've been bringing it up. These poor people, like, let alone, you know, not even just the evacuees, but those living closer to the outbreak of these fires. Which
It's
apparently,
horrible because it's like you can't even get like a nice nice
God.
inhale.
No, yeah, I know. So I'm breathing it in. I'm feeling lousy. Everyone at work is feeling lousy. And that's probably, so I don't know. It's probably a perfect storm of things. This air quality is not helping, though. But how's the weather been here?
It rained for 2 minutes this morning, which
Get
was
the hell
odd.
out of here. That's very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful view driving eastbound on the 10 freeway, turning to my left to the San Gabriel Mountains. Snow on just about every peak. It was, this is just the most bizarre climate to live in, and there's no wonder people move here left and right, even though the cost of living is through the roof.
I mean, it's cold as hell in here in my house.
That is weird, too.
Yeah. It's kind of warm outside.
It's very warm, very hot, but it's still...
Are you kind of cold in here?
Yeah, so you haven't had the AC on at all?
No.
Because I noticed that about my apartment the past few days, which is in shambles right now. Good
Why is
Lord.
it in shambles?
I'm letting
What
it
have you
go.
been doing?
I don't know. It smells like rotten egg. I haven't taken the trash out, and I showered with dish soap.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You showered with dish soap? What kind?
It's a knockoff brand. It's one I've never. I got it at John's.
That's sad.
Yeah.
A knockoff brand
So it's not
from
even
John's?
like what's the Doe? What's the one that starts with a D that everyone uses?
Dawn?
Dawn. It's not. I usually get Dawn. It's like Sean or something. It's like a weird.
It's D-O-N?
Yeah.
Instead
Dawn.
of D-A-W-N.
Yeah. It's like Green Apple Dawn. I don't even know what brand it is.
That's probably really bad for your skin.
And
It probably is like this dry weather, and then you're using dish soap on your body.
It was really mostly
You're
just.
going to have like snake scales.
No. My hands are already done because I overwashed them. So I used shampoo for my body and just kind of my hands. You know, when I get to the dirty areas, I like to get like a disinfectant, like, you know, soap on my hands while I shower. Didn't have that with me because I'm out of Dove. Another D starting with a vowel of an O.
Man.
I'm out of Muv. Hey.
Well, how was your Halloween?
It was fine. I watched the finale of Creepshow and the finale and episode 7 of American Horror Story 1984, which has gone off the rails in my opinion. So I definitely celebrated in my own way, and I drove around Chandler Boulevard. Didn't get out of my car, but in Burbank, there's some amazing decorations going on, kind of like your town here. So I celebrated in the way that I do, which is, alone.
Masturbating alone in your car.
Yeah, I flanked each episode with masturbation. So I winked my stink, and then I watched Creepshow, the finale of that, and then I yanked my wank, and then I watched AHS 1984, and then I tapped my flap, and then I went to bed. And I sought out, Halloween-themed tranny porn, too, so, Speaking of my pathetic existence.
Man, I've been listening back to podcasts from early last year.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling the same vibes right now.
From this time last year?
Yeah.
Really?
You were just like
oh my God.
You were pleasuring yourself.
Oh, I'm not. You antagonized me. You goaded me into.
You were lonely.
I was not going to bring up.
You were lonely and you were pleasuring yourself.
Am I in this never-ending cycle? I'm just at there's an apex around March where I'm like, I met someone. And then I squander it. Loser comes right back around the beginning of the fall. And I'm alone for the holidays. It's been that cycle. That vicious, sad cycle for at least 10 years, I want to say.
I mean, my Halloween was pretty good. Luckily, I watched Creepshow, the movie, the day before Halloween, so I had a pretty good Halloween.
Before you continue and ruin our relationship forever, I just wanted to say that you, your boy, and your wife looked incredible on Halloween. I got a picture. You were the Misfits. My God. You guys looked gorgeous, and your kid looked badass. It was awesome.
It was so funny. He was not having trick-or-treating at all. He was like, we're outside, but I have to hold hands and go to other people's houses. He was so mad. First house we hit, next door neighbor.
Yeah.
We go up to them. We're like, they were like, you can grab the candy that you want. And he wouldn't do it. And then so I grabbed a couple pieces and put it in his Halloween bucket. And he got so mad that I did that. He took the 2 pieces of candy and he put them back in their bowl.
Oh, my God.
He's like, I'm not doing it.
SHIT, man. No.
So we made it to maybe like
theft.
5 or 6 houses, and then we just posted up in the front yard, and he just played in dirt for 2 hours.
Okay.
And had the time of his life.
Okay, that's
just
fine.
Rolling around in the dirt.
Because, you guys had to hold the fort down, right? I mean,
yeah.
Look at there. I'm sitting next to this giant bucket of candy, so it's like you guys got some trick-or-treaters, so it's not like you could go far.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cassie's parents come to help pull down the fort, too.
All right.
So,
and they would rather you guys be close. I mean, that's the maternal instinct is even though it's a very safe and wonderful neighborhood, it's like, oh, but the likelihood of, something blah, blah, blah is greater.
An apple with a razor blade or
yeah, well, we need to bring that back, man. So 80s. So you guys looked terrific. What was I going to say about trick-or-treat? Oh, yeah. Children and babies and Halloween is a very interesting thing. Like, children ruin Halloween, all right? Children should not be for kids. Wait.
Children should not
Halloween should not be
agree.
for children and kids. Because I'm noticing this with Owen. I noticed this with Hannah, and I'm noticing this with all my friends that have children. Is that first 2 years out of the gate, the most badass costumes ever. I mean, Hannah was Peter Venkman, for God's sake. I mean, you're dressing up your son as Glenn frickin' Danzig, for crying out loud. And then they get older, and they're like, I want to dress myself. And it's like, who the hell is Starfire? Like, the last 4 years, I've had no idea who my niece...
Who's Starfire?
I don't know.
Is that from, like, Star Fox?
It's an animated, maybe. It's an animated series, just this action hero that wears purple.
That's why in the early years you have to cherish the fact that you can dress them.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to be a monster and say like, no, you will do everything that I say you will do and dress up the way I want you to dress up.
So I think next year Owen's going to pick, and I think he's going to have a lot, maybe in 2 years.
No.
2 years.
We've already picked out his costume.
Oh, cool.
So we got all this hand-me-down stuff, right? From Cassie's friends that have kids. Mm-hmm. And in the hand-me-down stuff was a 3T, so he'll be 3 years old next year, Top Gun flight suit. Just in time
Perfect,
for
'cause
the
the
new Top
movie's
Gun
coming out.
movie. Yeah.
Are there any wrestlers in that movie? God, we got to see that one together. I'm so
Oh yeah,
pumped.
I'm pumped. And then I had the idea: what if we, to match him, were just different Tom Cruise roles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's gonna be Maverick.
Don't listen to any other suggestions. That's the one.
He's
God,
gonna be Maverick. Cassie's gonna be Frank T.J. Mackey.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning towards Jerry
Frank T.J.
Maguire
Mackey?
for
Nice.
myself. She could be Frank T.J.
Wow,
Mackey because she can
nice.
do her hair like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. Is she gonna go like, Chance? Why don't you ask your fucking question?
And then I think
Is that not his
I could
best
just like
performance?
Oh, by far.
That's one of the best performances of any actor ever.
I think I could just wear a suit and have like a flip phone.
Yeah.
And I could be
that
Jerry
is
Maguire.
freaking hilarious. At
It's
first, I thought you were
gonna
gonna
be
do like, the Tom Cruise from '85 Top Gun versus the Cruise from now, but they're the same person.
Yeah. Oh.
They're the same
He's
person.
exactly the same.
Speaking of my Miz tweet, he's like, did you drunkenly tweet? Like, no, I was watching Crown Jewel and I noticed the Miz doesn't age at all. I'm like, how's come he don't age none? And I, kind of flubbed the grammar.
You said how's come?
I said how's come, HO''S. I have a question. Actually, can I ask multiple questions?
Yeah.
Because I'm freaking, I'm filibustering because I do not want to have this conversation about Creepshow because I'm afraid what you might say, and more importantly, I'm afraid at what I might do. So we'll get to that later. What's more depressing for you, taking down Halloween decorations or Christmas decorations? Because you, once again this year, you went all out. You have these pink flamingos that are colored black with skeletons on them. It's awesome. I'm only late because I was just driving around the neighborhood and like admiring your house.
I left them up to so you could see.
Oh, cool!
Because I know you haven't seen them.
Thank you very much, and I love them. They're awesome.
I don't find either depressing.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought taking down Christmas decorations were always depressing. Putting the ornaments back into the box, bearing the tree.
I don't mind because it kind of affords you the opportunity to tidy up the storage area of your garage.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. It's like
You definitely are the kind of guy where things belong in their place.
all things must pass,
Okay.
and they'll return again next year.
And then, you're a very positive person, so I notice what you do is you shift, okay, what's the next thing I have to look forward to? Oh, December's over, January, NFL, playoffs, the Super Bowl, right? That's over. Okay, Royal Rumble, yay. That's over. Oh, WrestleMania's coming up, Major League Baseball. There's a lot of cool things.
Well, not
you're
Major
not
League
doing the Major
Baseball.
League Baseball part. It's my lifelong goal to convert you into a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. And here's my other question.
Why Pittsburgh Pirates?
Because you thought I was going to say Angels. All right. Okay. One more question, and I want you to answer truthfully, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, which hopefully is me. Would you rather see Neil Young in the 70s, Metallica in the 80s, or Pearl Jam in the 90s? This is terrible segue.
Quickly eliminate Pearl Jam.
What about the women, the grunge rock women?
Don't care.
All right. In that case, can I rephrase
What's
the
the
question?
venue that I'm watching Metallica at?
You shot down Pearl Jam pretty heavy. Can I change the question then? Would you rather watch Neil Young in the 70s, Metallica in the 80s, or Nirvana in the 90s?
Okay. Well, so we got to ask venue. What show?
Okay. Let's say Neil Young is the Troubadour.
The Troubadour.
Yeah.
Man, small
Metallica is the Irvine Meadows. And Pearl Jam is in the 90s. Let's go with the Universal Amphitheater.
Nirvana.
I'm sorry, Nirvana at the Universal Amphitheater. That's about a 5,000 seater, 10,000 seater, 8,000 seater. So it's an intimate venue, but bigger, more broad.
I don't like your venue choice for Nirvana.
You know
I'd rather
what?
see them somewhere indoors.
Universal Amphitheater is indoors. That's
An amphitheater is.
Oh, sorry,
outdoors.
Irvine. Shoot, what was the one with the red seats? No. Okay, Metallica was the Irvine Meadows, which is an amphitheater. Universal Studios. What was that venue, that concert venue with all the red seats?
The Universal Amphitheater.
Yeah,
was
indoors.
Is out. It's outside.
Universal
an
Amphitheater.
amphitheater means outside theater.
Okay, well, you think I'm looking this up because I thought it was called the Universal Amphitheater. I've been there
Well, it
many
was
times. I've seen Nine Inch Nails there. I've seen Marilyn
Gibson
Manson.
Amphitheater.
Universal Amphitheater. I thought that's what it was called. Well, regardless, now it's the freaking Harry Potter ride. All right, so fine. You know what? That wasn't part. You get to choose the venues. How about that?
Okay, I'd like to see Nirvana probably. Maybe at the Palladium. Maybe at the Palladium or like the Wiltern.
Love the
Something
Palladium.
like that.
Now is marred with terrible memory, but love the Palladium.
Indoor venue. But so is the Neil Young?
Hey.
Is this after?
We're talking 1971, right when the
On the-
Harvest comes out.
I'd like to see him after On the Beach. Came
Okay,
out.
that's fine. I'm giving you an artist and a decade. You get to build whatever you want. You
Okay.
get to build. I'm not going to tell you the venue, but speaking of venues, check this out, man. Universal Amphitheater, later known as Gibson Amphitheater, was an indoor amphitheater located in L.A. within Universal City. It was originally built as an outdoor venue. That's why they enclosed it.
Oh, so they still called it an amphitheater.
They still did. I remember it as the Universal
so
Amphitheater.
weird.
It totally is, but that's why. It was
I've never
remodeled.
seen a show there, but
I've seen
an
so
amphitheater
many.
means it's outdoors.
Yeah, it's right when you walk in.
So why didn't they just change it to the Universal Theater? Why did they keep the
Why
amphitheater
don't you
name?
write your congressman or woman?
Well, it doesn't matter now because it's Wizarding World of Harry
Now it's
Potter.
the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which I've since been on and love.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Single rider, bro. Single rider all the way. What's with these people that want to stick together and wait in line for 3 hours? I got on that ride in 12 minutes. 12 minute
That's
wait.
great.
That's it. One of the best rides I've ever been on.
Oh, it's so awesome. It just combines so many great things
many
about
elements.
rides.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really torn between Neil Young and Nirvana.
Okay. Can I guess why?
I'm probably gonna go with Nirvana, to be honest with you, because I feel like I'd feel the energy more from Nirvana, like just seeing them play like Aneurysm or something.
So what year are you
Just-
seeing them? Like 93? Like early 94 before April when we all know what happens?
I'm seeing them while in between Nevermind and In Utero,
So
like right there at the
1990
peak.
Late 92?
At the
early
peak.
93. Damn. How about right when Heart Shaped Box comes out? You know, boom, it's on MTV.
I'm no, not yet. Before that,
Wow, very cool.
yeah.
All right, I love your answer. Let me see the
What an
results.
interesting aside.
You know, I know why you didn't say total aside.
results?
There's
What are
no
you talking about?
there's no like segue to this. I thought it was an interesting question that I came up with. I know why you didn't say Metallica in the 80s because you recently saw Metallica and I would assume that they rock so hard that they sound exactly the same as they did in the 80s.
Yeah, but it's just
And at the Irvine Meadows would have been more early 90s to be honest than 80s. 80s they're in club venues still kind of like
Yeah,
bigger club venues.
it's just I'm not as much of a metalhead as I am a punker at heart.
Yeah. The crowd. God, just could you imagine like a 22-year-old girl just in love with Kurt Cobain wearing flannel like man. I like the 90s fashion as well.
Put this into the file of lonely horny Mike.
God. Look at how covered up these women are.
They're wearing layers and
Look
layers
at
of
layers.
flannel.
Layers and layers. Look at how baggy those pants are. You can't see her butt at all.
Do you think she decided not to shave her armpits?
Yeah, what am I saying? Although the women at the 70s Neil Young show, though.
Not a bra in sight.
Not a bra in sight. You can smell the titties coming a mile away. Oh, maybe that's a check. No. So, hey, Ryan, I discovered something. All right, that I wish I had discovered earlier.
What's that?
In the feature film Creepshow, Bob Backlund is on the TV. We can review my all-time favorite Halloween movie, buddy.
Is it really your all-time favorite Halloween movie? Because I
up there,
feel
man.
like
It's
I've
up
never heard you talk about it.
What?
And
I cherish that
we
movie.
just only started talking about it in like the last few weeks.
I'm sure you probably just weren't listening. I mean, we've only talked about it the last few weeks because I was really excited about the reboot of Creepshow on Shudder, and I actually signed up for the 7-day free trial. I haven't canceled it yet, so they got me for like probably $6 this month. But not good. There's a
kind of
Dana
like the
Gould.
original.
Can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I knew you told me when you were watching it. And
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say anything except for
except
one text.
I made a
The
remark
Austin
about
Powers.
the stupid
Whoa, no,
Ed
it's
Harris
coming
scene.
at me with the Ed Harris scene, which I think is just such a great, horrifying scene where he's in this
There's
grave and the
nothing horrifying
headstone
about
is
that.
slowly moving at him, and he yelps, and it just cuts off when he's killed. It's, yeah, like it's so horrifying, and the sounds that.
There's nothing scary about Creepshow. I'm sorry.
I want my cake. It's so fun. It's campy, but it's not
It's very
really
campy.
But it's not making fun of itself campy. It's towing that line that I find just amazing. And the makeup and the prosthetics and the stories are so clever. So anyway, you send me that text. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Because I was
You're
like,
expecting
he's
like
gonna
an
love
onslaught?
He's going to love it because, I mean, and that's on you, man. I feel sorry for you, dude, for you not to enjoy this kind of an anthology and Creepshow 2. So I didn't know we were going to talk about this today. I thought we were going to wait till next year because we missed it by a couple.
That'd be nice to not have to watch Creepshow again.
All right. Well, no, here's the thing. This is what because we're out of Rob Zombie Halloweens, right?
We got Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we could watch.
No, I know, but that's in
All
the
starring
urn.
David Arquette.
That's in the urn, though.
We can defy the urn and save them for the next 4
All
Halloween.
right. God. Dish soap, Ryan. Dish soap.
Man,
I'm gonna call my mother and let her know. Hey, we're booked for the next
feel like
4 Halloween. Okay,
I kind of feel like this is going to be a number 1
let's.
on our top 10 moments of the year. You showering? with
No, please.
dish soap?
No, don't do that to me. All right, we got
Right,
multiple episodes in October. How about this? Next year, I won't watch Creepshow.
Do a month. A month of
So that's 2 episodes at least, you know. So the first one we'll do Creepshow. I will not watch it again until next year, and then you watch it again, and then we'll have a discussion about it. And
watch it again.
you have to watch it again.
Okay.
And this is how you greeted me today. I'm like, oh my gosh,
You are so mad at me.
oh my gosh, your yard, your decorations are awesome. And then we were talking about streaming media and how much it costs, and I had mentioned Shudder and ordering Creepshow, and I was like, they don't even have the movie Creepshow. And he's like, yeah, well, it's on Amazon Prime. They got Creepshow 2 as well, but I'm not going to get it because I didn't like the first one very much.
And then it's like I created I like said like some sort of ethnic slur or said something horrible about your mother. You were so mad at me.
Here's why.
You said
Here's
like you
why.
hate me just for not liking a movie.
Yeah, and I was like,
that
"Can I
has
get a water?"
73% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 68% audience score.
That's BS. How? Yeah, why don't
60
you live your life by Rotten Tomatoes percent value? You freaking sad, pathetic loser of a cock-sucking, cunt-mongering asshole. I don't.
Hey, give it a little love to the swear jar.
How many is that?
A lot.
Hey,
That's a lot.
here's why. I knew first. That text you sent me while we were watching. That was a tip, but it wasn't an anonymous tip either. It was like kind of a text, and I'm like, oh, maybe we'll get him in one of the other anthologies, right? Oh, he's gonna love the Stephen King one and the cockroach one. Oh God, Mr. Pratt. Thanks, Mr. Pratt. I knew you weren't gonna like it, and I wanted you to prove me wrong. And I'm greeted with, well, Creepshow 2's free, but I'm not going to get it because the first one sucked. Like, yeah, I will remember where you were standing, where I was standing. Like, where do I charge I need to charge. And then you walk over to me like, I knew you were going to charge. So I charged my computer first because you have to plug in, don't you? And like you were walking from the kitchen. I am now officially a hater of Creepshow. And my co-host is an official lover of Creepshow. And we have ourselves a little rivalry here, don't we? You son of a... And I was just like, first of all, I wanted to wait until next year because I thought it would be a powerful discussion of agreement. And I just could. It's one of those movies. It's like Tommy Boy, where it's like, how can anyone?
Tommy Boy's way better than
but
Creepshow.
You meet
I
someone.
laughed during Tommy Boy.
I don't know if we could be friends anymore. This is like if you just.
How many of your friends like Creepshow?
I don't know. I never
Do you
talked
like?
about it.
Why don't you do a poll?
Okay, I will.
Because I'm sure it'd be lukewarm at best.
No, I know a lot of my coworkers love it. And I mentioned, because I've been talking in real time about this Shudder show, because I've got my opinions about it. All in all, there's a Dana Gould one, which is spectacular, but all in all, very disappointing. So I'm talking about the show, and then, I'm like, hey, you ever seen Creepshow or Creepshow 2? And wait, Creepshow 2, ooh, is that the one with the raft thing? Where the slime, the oil just comes over like a wave, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty great, right? Or is it the one with the hitchhiker where it's like, hey, lady, thanks for the ride, and it becomes a zombie hitchhiker? So yeah, I've had like pleasant discussions. You haven't seen Creepshow 2
those two
yet.
sound way more interesting than
Let me tell you, man.
Creepshow 1.
I think I've seen, and my sister and I would rent Creepshow 2 more than Creepshow. Not gonna lie. Creepshow 2 is very solid, and I hope you do watch it sometime. And there's a through line
in that.
No, I highly doubt it. No, I don't think so. But there's a cool through line of a cartoon with a Venus flytrap that eats bullies and stuff, and it's cool. So you might like the second one more. And there's a drugstore Indian that comes to life. Sorry, Native American that comes to life, and that is very, very powerful, and it holds up. Great acting as well.
Well, Roger Ebert says, Romero and King have approached this movie with humor and affection, as well as with an appreciation of the macabre. So he liked it. He
Exactly.
gave it 3 out of 4 stars.
What didn't you like about it?
The Vincent Canby from the New York Times says, horror film purists may object to the levity, even though failed, as a lot of it is.
I'm telling you, Ryan. I tell you I don't like this movie, you're going to be like, I don't know, it's pretty good.
No, I don't think so. I had my own opinion about it. Why can't I have my own opinion? Why is it so offensive to you that I might dislike something that you like?
You asked me this earlier, and I still have not prepared an answer.
Yeah, because it makes no sense. I can dislike Creepshow. We're not talking about the Godfather here.
Not in
We're
my
talking
house, you
about
can't.
Creepshow. I mean, you're not in your house. You don't own. You rent an apartment that has no soap and smells like rotten eggs.
Not in my backyard.
You don't have one. Sorry.
Not in my mom's backyard.
Okay.
Band practice, no mention of this.
I wonder what Chris thinks about Creepshow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we should.
There's no way in hell
He's never seen
Chris would like Creepshow.
Oh.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
he would think it sucks.
He wouldn't. No, but here's the thing. He wouldn't watch it. Like, he can't.
I want to
focus.
make him watch it.
I know,
just
I do
so we
too.
could
That would
see
be
what he
very
says.
interesting.
This is a good
would-
experiment.
If we would have to be there and be quiet because he's such a brat when it comes to things that he doesn't like. He would play his guitar and it would just be on and he wouldn't watch it. Like, you at least watch the damn thing.
I did. I sat on my couch and I
he shuts
watched
down. He's just like when he's doing things he doesn't like. He's just God.
So he's not going to like it.
He's probably not going to like it.
First of all, I don't like camp. I'm not into campy
that's
stuff.
my jam, man.
I don't like
So, like, do not
silliness.
even bother with AHS 1984. You would hate it. They do this every year, too. It's like the stories become so complex that you lose focus on the characters.
That's kind of my problem and is why I haven't gone past Witches.
It's now, I don't know what.
Witches was the last
Yeah.
one I watched,
Now
which I kind of enjoyed.
I don't know what I'm looking at. The Kathy Bates one was great, and then it just derailed. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. And now it's like, oh, we got to fill 10 episodes. But why? If it was just a 5-episode arc, there's a really clever twist right at the midpoint. It's like, if that was the end, boom. I would love it. But you probably wouldn't even like that because we're talking 1984, the beginning opening credits montage is so good. It's so awesome.
I just wanted it to be a little more sinister, a little more scary. Like, I really liked where they were going with the Ted Danson and Leslie Nielsen thing. I
so
really liked
good.
that. That was like, oh,
I can hold
so
my breath for a long time.
and so it was setting up like such an evil thing that he was doing, and you don't even really know why it's happening. Like, what happened in their past that he is really screwing over Ted Danson in this way.
Yeah.
And I like that. But then the cheesy sea monster thing.
Oh, God.
Where they're walking slowly, and he's like, I just get in my dune buggy and drive away because there's no way those sea monsters are going to catch me and bury me.
See, yeah, that's not fair because that's the genre, man. I mean, you have to accept sea monsters because that's the genre. And
They
as a
look
kid,
really
man, I was
dumb.
horrified at that part when they came out of the closet. I was like, ugh!
I think
God.
I think they
It was
kind
a
of
good jump scare.
I think they kind of set that up too, where it's like the kid with his comic book. It's a movie that is for kids. I think it should appeal.
I think
children.
I feel like it appeals to everyone now. And you said that I just hold it near and dear to my heart because it's one of the top movies that my sister and I, again though, more so Creepshow too, watched all the time. So yes, I am very biased because of that. But I honestly think I would enjoy it anyway.
I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and you don't like it.
I don't care for it. Yeah.
And I don't hate you.
You just last week I was like, God, Cain Velasquez is a little overweight, and you're like, you're an idiot.
I didn't say we can't be friends.
We can't be friends, you idiot. Get out of my house.
I didn't say
That's
that.
exactly what you said.
No,
it was off mic.
that's-
Prove it.
You're lying. Well,
So I don't know. I think it sets up an interesting discussion next
for
year.
next year. Well, we got to get Chris to watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
okay.
gonna really take this discussion up a notch.
So it'll be all right. The first episode in October of 2020. The three of us will watch it, and the three of us will have a discussion about it.
If we're all still alive.
So why don't the three of us watch it together?
Oh yeah,
Instead. So
that's the only way Chris is gonna watch it.
Yeah, I know.
anyway.
Chris, if we give him an assignment, he's not gonna.
But you're just gonna be staring at me the whole time, making me feel uncomfortable.
No, we have to be quiet.
Okay.
No one can say. We'll make yes, and none of this like Chris is gonna lose because he can't keep his freaking trap shut. But it's like we'll make rules, and it's like, all right, that's a point, and then you get a punishment. Like every word you say, you get like a bare-chested slap or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just it's like so we are quiet and we are unbiased and we are just watching a movie and smelling Chris.
Get ready for everything you ever wanted to hear, know, and find out about Hulk Hogan, the greatest of all time.
Wow, we're bringing it back?
Yeah, it's been
Nice.
so long. I
has.
just saw this really funny headline the other day, and so I thought, why not?
Does it
why
involve
not?
he and Ric Flair at a hotel bar?
No.
Okay.
They got something happened with them,
Something
right?
happened. Yeah, some drunk fan came up to him and they I don't know, they brushed him off or whatever. So he sent Shirley Temples to their table, just a belligerent drunk. And Hulk Hogan was like, "Last time I had a Shirley Temple was with your wife," and someone was filming, and they're like, as he's walking away with his duffel bag.
Sending him Shirley.
Yeah, so some drunk dude sent Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan to Shirley Temples because he wouldn't sign his whatever.
That's kind of. I like that guy. Whoever did that. That's pretty.
It is
funny.
pretty badass.
That's a good drink to send.
It is, but then I think it's a great. But he was then drinking more, proud of himself because he got pretty sloppy afterwards. Anyway, that's kind of why it went viral, I guess. I don't know.
Brooke Hogan defends father Hulk Hogan. Says she was once told white people smell like baloney. Brooke Hogan, daughter of the newly infamous Hulk Hogan, defended her father in an interview with Entertainment Tonight on Tuesday. In the interview, the 27-year-old singer claimed that her father was not a racist for a number of reasons, of which she included her relationships with mixed-race men, and which set him off. That just really pissed him off.
That's some fodder right there
Yeah,
for
that's,
HH.
That's why he's in the mess he's in, because of your relationships with mixed-race men.
Jeez.
And Hulk's
She's clueless, man. She's clueless.
Hulk's ongoing friendships with Mr. T and noted North Korea sympathizer Dennis Rodman. Hogan, who drops her 5-song EP, I Wanna Be Your Girlfriend, on September 4th, and recently wrote a poem for her dad. So this is an old story.
Tell me that's not a Ramones cover.
I guess this is an old story, but
be your
it's
girlfriend.
back in the zeitgeist for some reason.
Okay.
Went on to say racism is something that we have to put a stop to every day before regaling us with her own personal experiences. What kind of racist experience, you ask? Being called a honky by a black person, and apparently also being told white people smell like baloney. Quote,
Bean dip bologna wraps. Or what were those called? Bean dip
it was-
and bologna?
she said like bologna.
Bologna and bean dip.
Yeah. Roll-ups. It was like
Roll-ups,
a bologna
yeah.
and bean dip roll-up.
And I was like, I got to get that recipe.
I feel bad for my dad, but I also feel bad for African American fans and stuff because they don't know that he didn't mean it. You know,
They're just ignorant.
it would
what
be
a piece of
offensive,
crap.
but this is something that we have to put a stop to every day because I'll be honest with you. I've had black people call me honky, and I've also been told that white people smell like baloney. And I don't
Just
take
remember
offense
that.
to it. I just laughed at it.
What a
Well, all right,
stupid
Brooke.
girl. What a stupid, stupid girl. God damn it.
So that's another edition of Hogan's Beach.
God. Like, does she not get why blacks are allowed to treat whites like that? I mean, it's like years and years of like.
Have you ever been called a honky? But by a black person,
Oh, yeah.
not a
Yeah, I
white
have.
person. You have?
I have, yeah. So when I dog sit, I'm maybe not honky, but I've experienced.
Oh, in Crenshaw?
In Crenshaw, I go to the liquor store, decaf, and I was, this old lady in a wheelchair was like, "Give me $1." She didn't ask. She's like, "Give me $1." I was like, "So I don't have anything." And she's like, "Get out of my town, white boy," or something like that.
Oh.
I was like, "Get the hell out of my city." It was like, so I was like, "Oh." But do you think I was like, "Oh God, how dare?" I was like, "Yeah, well, okay."
Well, I
It's
mean,
fine.
she's probably pissed off because there's all these white people moving into Crenshaw, raising up the rent and shit, just like in Inglewood, man.
Not in that area. Not in that
It's
area.
it's
not
happening.
in Inglewood for sure.
No, but it's going to happen because the more places like Inglewood push people out, that's just going to go into different areas to where
Yeah.
all of LA is just unlivable for a certain class of people.
Which I hate because I love that neighborhood. I mean, because, I said that was an isolated incident. 99% of the time walking around in that culture is beautiful. Like, I love it. And it's warm and it's friendly. It's not like dangerous, and this is Crenshaw, dude. This is the beginning of the Bloods and the Crips rival. Like, it was spawned right here, you know. So
Well, I like
it's
that old
supposed to-
lady.
You know what? Me too. Yeah, and I wasn't like offended,
If
but
she said that to me, I wouldn't be mad either.
but yes, I have experienced being called a honky in that way.
If it happened to Brooke Hogan, she'd put that in her back pocket and be like,
It's
"Well,
terrible.
look at you guys."
Yes. I mean, I'm sorry, and like, black people have every goddamn right to say whatever the hell they want to white people. Like, I'm like freaking cops, man. Cops are the goddamn worst, and I know for a fact in my crusty ass Corolla, I would be pulled over a lot more frequently if I was African American. That's a fact today. In this day and age, it sucks. There is white privilege, and it still exists. White male privilege still exists. It's still prevalent, and it sucks. So we deserve whatever we get.
And that's to close the segment, Woke Moments with Mike.
It's time for Mike's Match of the Month. Match of the Month. Match of the Month. I overeat at dinner when I skip lunch. Match of the Month.
We're just bringing segments back, man.
Yeah, you
This is like
inspired me.
Because of Halloween, we're raising the dead, dude. We got zombies walking around and ghosts left and right. Match of the month. Get your Birkenstocks and crank some Pearl Jam. My match of the month takes place at the Universal Amphitheater in 1994. Kidding. 1990.
That would be a great venue for wrestling.
What, the Harry Potter? I know. I love.
I mean, at AEW when they were in that
Yeah.
amphitheater in Jacksonville. That was
always-
great. That
that's
looked
always-
great.
Dude.
I want theater style.
I love it. Yeah.
seating
How come they
for
never? They
wrestling.
should do that so much more often. I don't care if I'm going to the Seagerstom Hall, to watch an orchestra play. I'm always like, all right, you would put the ring right there, right? Yeah, it would be awesome. What the hell?
Yeah.
It'd be crazy. That's always my first thought, especially going into a new venue I hadn't been in, is where you're going to put the ring, I still do it to this day going to Angel Stadium. Like, what was it WrestleMania 22? Or 19 or 18? What was the Safeco Field WrestleMania? Whatever, it doesn't matter the number, but it was early 2000s, 2004. Beautiful. Just putting the ring right on the field there. The Royal Rumble, we're at Banquet Ballpark where the Diamondbacks play. It's like, I'm always like, where are you putting the ring? So they put the ring in beautiful Paradise, Las Vegas, Nevada at WrestleMania 9 in a freaking Caesar's Palace casino. I mean, we're talking 6,000 people here, and I'm one of them.
Yes, we know. Anybody that listens to this show knows.
This
You
is
were there.
actually kind of interesting because this is a lot like Creepshow, because I've very well advertised that I love it because I went with my mom, but I was rewatching several matches again, and I'm like, how could you not like this? All the pageantry and the intricate like Roman costumes. There's an elephant. I bet if I wouldn't even attended, I would have liked. Like, what more do you need? Goddamn Kimberlock or something.
Entertaining matches.
But the look is so.
It's a great look.
That's all I like.
It's a
That's
great
all I
look.
care about.
It's a great look, and the animal thing and Bobby Heenan riding in backwards, funny.
Right.
That's
Great
good.
start. Jim Ross.
The rest of the show sucks.
That's really all I need. And I guarantee you, if the stage looked better at this last year's WrestleMania, I would have seen it another time or maybe twice. Because a huge component of WrestleMania 31 is just how cool it looks. It's in the daylight. And, of course, we were
They
there.
were really good matches.
So I hold it near and dear. But, yeah, so that's why.
I was at WrestleMania 32. It looked nice, but it's not near and dear to my heart because the show was not entertaining.
See, it's all about, it looked nice, but it's all about open air. As dumb as that sounds, all the
It was the biggest,
WCWs, Hog Wild, Road Wild.
attended WrestleMania. I
No, I
was
know.
part of the record
No.
crowd.
I don't know, but there's just something about daylight open air. I'm sorry. I have a weird thing about seeing a professional ring. I'm watching these damn backyard brawl matches on someone's farm just because it's wrestling in the daylight. It's a weird thing that I for some reason, and maybe it's because of WrestleMania 9 and a wonderful, fond moment, WrestleManias that are during the day, like the beginning of any MetLife one, MetLife Stadium, are just stunning, And I'm really looking forward to this WrestleMania at an outdoor venue where the Buccaneers play. I got a joke for you. Pirate walks into the bar, asks, "Where's his Buccaneers?" And the pirate says, "They're under my bucking hat."
Oh,
Look,
you
I
couldn't
know.
have saved that until WrestleMania season. You had to put that on me now.
So I know all of my selections are from this particular company in this particular period of time, but they just released the dark match for this WrestleMania between Tito Santana and Papa Shango in the Hidden Gems portion of the network. And I remembered as it happened vividly. I have pictures of it, and I was pretty darn excited that they've released it finally. I was like, what is this? Mom, this isn't on the card. What's going on? And there's this dude sitting in front just chowing down on some popcorn. Just, it's a dark match. And I had no idea what that meant. I was just like, sure is dark. That Papa Shango looks like he's going to drag poor Tito down to the depths of hell. This was the first match Jim Ross ever called for WWF, his warm-up match for the big event, if you will. No, not that big event.
Did he do commentary because they were going to release it on a video, Coliseum
No,
video?
the way he was doing commentary, it was just...
Because I know that he makes a call, he talks about Bruce Pritchard or something.
No, there was... this commentary was as if it was never going to see the light of day. Because he was trying out things. Like all of my highlights here are from him trying out things. He's like... he's pretty actually kind of ornery because he's, in uncharted territory, basically. So he says, like, I'll work on it, Bruce. Like, just imagine, like, in a quiet, ornery manner, like, can you imagine Bruce Pritchard just dumbass yapping in your ears, like, for freaking commentary advice? He's like, I'll work on it, Bruce. Like, that was one of them. And y'all got a cough button? That was another one.
I actually didn't watch the match, so I'm just...
Okay, it's
I'm just
interesting.
taking in your analysis.
Dude, it's 10 minutes, and it's interesting to watch because of his commentary, frankly. And there's one point he's like, what does he say? He's like, Santana had him set up for his favorite maneuver, and I'm sure Bruce will tell me exactly what it's called because I don't know it. So it's like they're building their rapport, kind of.
What an ornery piece of shit.
The move is called a flying forearm, by the way. So it's interesting to watch just for the commentary alone. And I would be upset if I was Jim Ross that this was released because it's like it
makes him look bad.
It makes him look terrible. It makes him look like he doesn't know what he's doing because he's trying out. He's getting a feel of the crowd. It's a warm up match and it's a warm up commentary. Like it should not be aired. So what they should have done, released the match and re-released the commentary like they do so many times back in the day. They did so many times back in the day.
So
they would just
Papa
have like...
Shango?
Huh?
Papa Shango?
Nice
win?
wrist lock from Shango on Santana. Big body slam on the outside. Shango blatantly rakes the eyes of El Matador towards the finish here, and Santana gets the pin, capitalizing on a missed elbow drop.
Whoa, Santana got the pin.
9 stars, IX.
Dang. They let him win?
I don't remember Papa Shango ever, like... This was...
But Tito's
This
always
was
been
93,
like
so his
a
peak...
job guy, man.
Oh,
Like,
I know why.
So many
it was his
different
it was a
pay-per-views I've seen.
farewell match for Tito Santana.
Tito?
Yeah. It was a farewell.
He was going to become an executive.
Tell you what we're
going to
do.
You're
going to go over on Papa Shango in a match that no one will ever see until 2019. Thanks, boss. Thanks for the opportunity.
Arriba!
Oh, God. Speaking of racism, God. You can also hear the crowd filing in, and people are just like, Arriba!
Was that you?
And it's like, that's not even Hispanic.
Was that you that was saying that?
While I was watching it on my television alone.
Hey,
on
what's
Halloween.
the deal with this new coach for the Angels? I saw it on like the billboard.
Joe Madden, man. He was with the franchise for
Hope that you've enjoyed the segment. Match of the month, match of the month. Tree outside the road at the pavement. Match of the month.
I feel like that really gets you every time. Yeah, like you didn't even think that I was setting you up. You really wanted to talk about Joe Madden.
You'd never ask.
You wish so much that you had an Angels podcast. You do.
I was like, well, he did it again. I guess that'll bring us to film number 78 of 6,992, The Warrior, starring Kurt Angle.
Isn't it just Warrior?
Ah, dang it. Yeah, it's just Warrior. All right, let me edit that, even though I already said it. Is there a better way to start a movie than with the National and Nick Nolte listening to a book on tape?
That
Philadelphia
was
skyline.
very very
Overcast
like
weather.
it just really got that working class vibe. Yeah, that was very good. This kind of made me think of. I was listening to a podcast a few weeks ago with Shea Serrano. He's kind of like a sports culture guy. Just came out with a book about movies, and so he was deciding like what would be the fictional sporting events that you wish that you could attend. And so that's kind of made me think of that. So first I want to ask you, of all the Rocky movies, which fight would you pick to attend?
Interesting. It wouldn't be Rocky 1 because it ends in a draw.
Yeah, and you probably don't even know what's going on with Rocky and Adrian. Like, you don't know that story. You're just in the crowd. You can't hear the commentary, and you're like, why is he yelling? Who's this woman?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be Rocky 4 because you get the whole story of the rematch with Apollo Creed. And here this Russian comes into our land and kills him in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
now Rocky is going to square off with his former nemesis turned best friend. That would be the most compelling angle, I would say.
So Rocky 4?
Yeah.
So you would go to the Soviet Union. You'd be in there.
That's
watching
right.
That.
Yeah, that's right. It does take place in
But they turn.
the Soviet Union.
They decide, you know what? Capitalism isn't so bad.
Huh.
Let's cheer for Rocky.
You know
and
what?
USA.
So I'm just as a fantasy, right? So I'm just transported then? Like I don't have to travel to Russia?
You're just attending. Well, I mean, you would have to be in Russia to watch that. It take place in
Of
Russia.
course. Yeah, I know. And I blanked on that. Definitely wouldn't be Clubber Lang because that's more of a gimmick match. You know what? Then
Dude,
fine.
Rocky
you know
5,
what?
you're in the streets.
Absolutely
street
not.
Fight.
No. I need it to be sanctioned. It would have to be a sanctioned fight. I don't want no parts of Tommy the Duke Morrison.
Because he has
May he
AIDS.
rest in peace. No, I didn't mean that like that. I was like, should I go with the AIDS joke? Because I might contract. No. God, that's terrible. Rest in peace. Okay, fine. Then I'll strip it down a little bit because you're right, and I do not want to travel to Russia, and the crowd would probably would scare me, frankly. So I'm going to go with the more simple story of the rematch, Rocky 2, Apollo Creed.
That's my choice as well, because that one had the double knockdown where they're both fighting to get to their feet, and Rocky gets to his feet first. Now that is drama.
Oh, absolutely. So, like the actual match. Okay, so you're saying, okay,
You're a spectator.
Okay, I'm a spectator, but I'm more of like leading up to like just the promos that Ivan Drago would have. It would be like, oh my god. So, but you're saying just the actual match, like how the boxing match.
You're
played out.
attending at the event, so I'm sure as a fan you would know
And
some
the
things.
event that
if
we
it was Rocky 1, you probably wouldn't know much about Rocky.
Absolutely. Just an
And,
underdog
you
story,
know,
simple underdog story.
Yeah.
I would go. So this is the greatest Apollo Creed, the greatest heavyweight of all time. This freaking chump from Philly, went to it. He got a freaking tied. This guy. Now he's pissed. At first, he respected him so much. He's like, "There's not going to be a rematch, man. That was crazy." And he's like, "You know what? Screw that. My ego took a real huge hit." So it's like, okay, let's watch the pro pummel this guy. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa. So what year do we go back in time to? Like 1983?
No, I'm not sure.
I know that Rocky 4 was 1985, and I think they were cranking those out every year. Rocky was what, 78? So let's say Rocky 2 was like 1980. I'm gonna say 1980. That's my guess.
Rocky 2 was 1982. Or no, that's Rocky. Why did I put Rocky 2 and it made it Rocky 3?
Wow.
1979.
Oh. Okay. I would love to go back to 79.
How about like a fictional baseball game? Are you going Major League 1, Major League 2?
Oh, one game from either of those movies?
Or any baseball movie, fictional game.
Dude, Little Big League, freaking Twins and Mariners all the way. I get to
You
see
would pick
Randy Johnson entering.
Little Big League?
I want to see Ken Griffey Jr. play again so much, just so I can wait outside after the game and give him a hug and thank him.
That
Because
one's
he
not really
did-
in my wheelhouse. I saw it one time.
Oh,
maybe.
really? Oh, I
Yeah.
love that movie, man.
I'm more of a Rookie of the Year kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've already been to Wrigley Field, and I've never been to the Metrodome, and I never will because it doesn't exist anymore. So that also is a huge component of me wanting to go see the Twins versus the Mariners.
So you wouldn't pick the final game, the game at the end of Major League 2?
No, for
Where Wild Thing
Nah,
walks,
dude. I'm going to Detroit, or maybe it was a road game, wherever that game took place. But Costner is a freaking tiger, and he's throwing a perfect game. And between it, he's thinking about
he's
a
like-
love lost.
He's like talking to the catcher the entire time, and they're like, "What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
He keeps talking. Who's he talking to?"
Well, whatever he's doing, it's working.
It's like the
See, that's the thing. In
who's the
between
guy
innings
that
in a
did
perfect game.
acid and-
Oh, Doc,
yeah, it's
Doc
like
Ellis.
It's like the Doc Ellis thing. They're like, is he taking what Doc was
There
taking?
you go. Okay, can I go to that game? That's not a
But
movie.
that's real.
That's real life. Oh, God, I would love. There's no footage of that game, man. It's killing me.
It's
high
real
on LSD,
game.
and he throws a freaking no-no. Unbelievable. He didn't even realize he was scheduled to pitch that day. Like his girlfriend told him, like, he's like, "Nah, girl, I pitch tomorrow. It's cool." Like, it is Tuesday. It's like, I pitch on Tuesday. Okay, how about, all right, Bull Durham out. I want to go to a professional venue. And I've never been to Cleveland. Also, I've been to Chicago, but not the White Sox side, the South side, nor do I really want to, though. So it wouldn't be Major League 2. I already answered. Why do I have to? I already
Little
answered.
Big League.
Yeah, Little Big League. God.
It just surprised me. I didn't expect that.
Angels in the outfield. I'm going to go back to Anaheim.
You want to see some apparitions?
No, I want to watch the Naked Gun.
Oh,
I want to.
great choice!
Yeah, I want to because
I
want
wanna
to
go to that
of
game.
England. I get to meet the Queen of
Man.
England. I get to meet Reggie Jackson, and it's an Angels game at Dodger Stadium. How crazy would that?
And
be?
you get to see Enrico Palazzo save the day.
So many. It would be a crazy moment.
I didn't even think of that.
If you
That's
didn't
brilliant.
expect it-
that's one of the best
I
things
must
you've
go.
come
I'd
up
be
with.
like, look at Reggie Jackson.
Wow.
What the hell is
Yeah.
he doing?
That's
oh
my choice.
God! Is he aiming at the Queen of England?
And then he hit that fat lady.
The fat lady, she fell to her
on him.
death.
She fell on top of him.
And you get this weird umpire, just like
Yeah.
that's not a ball.
That was the opera singer.
yeah.
Get dust bust the home plate.
Like, this is
Yeah.
a very. Who said baseball ain't entertaining?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a great choice.
Yeah, I guess that's my choice.
Another fictional
Don't have to travel
sporting
far.
event I'd like to attend is the Kumite.
Okay.
Think of all that. You'd see like someone actually die.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that though.
I'd like to see
That's
that.
too
You're
violent.
like with all those like Asian gamblers.
I know, but I know, God, and you're like pounding. So
Yeah.
am I
Chong
safe?
Li, Chong Li. Yeah,
Dude,
you're
I thought-
safe. You're not gonna die.
I thought like
You're
those
not
kids,
in the Kumite.
I thought the kids in the Foot Clan, for the freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I thought that like cage fighting was scary. I don't want any parts of that. Like there's something about like grappling hands. Just I don't know. Okay. Sumo wrestling exists, right? I would always want to go to.
Is there a sumo movie? I'm talking about movie. I'm talking about fictional events.
Yeah.
You could go to a sumo wrestling match.
I don't know. Is there a sumo movie? God, like a heartwarming.
Probably a Japanese sumo
Yeah.
movie.
God, I bet that there's a story right there. There's
Subtitles.
like an ugly duckling kind of a thing, like an overweight guy that has a heart of gold, and the woman finds the love and the beauty within the confines
The
of all that
sumo
blubber.
wrestlers, they get laid, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's such a dedicated sport that this follows a sumo wrestler that is so focused and dedicated on his love, the love of his life, which is philandering.
Oh, that was a good
So
discussion.
what it wouldn't be is this. I wouldn't care about seeing MMA. I would not want to go to this. And it's always my biggest complaint of these movies, and it's my biggest complaint about Rocky. Like, I remember the actual boxing matches the least than the story that leads up to it. And this was way. This is a great movie.
Yeah.
This is a great movie.
You're going to say exactly what I'm going to say.
The
Go
writing
for it.
is absolutely spectacular, and then we get an hour and a half of the fireworks factory, the fighting, and it's over an hour.
It wasn't an hour and a half, was
Over
it?
an hour because it's a 16-man tournament and they go every round, and that.
But there's stuff in between because it's a 2-day tournament. So there's stuff that happens in between day 1 and day 2.
I would say there's one scene that happens in between day 1, day 2, and that's the interaction between Tom Hardy and Nick Nolte, and that was a very powerful scene.
The most important scene
That's
probably of
most
the
important
entire
scene.
movie.
So you're right, but still, TRT total running time, an hour of in-ring footage, which I find to be very boring.
I feel like the same way I feel about Glow with their in-ring product and Glow.
Yeah.
Is that this is so far-fetched. They just do a terrible job of representing what MMA is and how it can be exciting.
I was going to ask you that. Like, how does this look for? I mean, I'm just a novice here, but
there's
how
things that happen that are just preposterous. Like Kurt Angle literally power bombs a guy.
Yeah.
There has been a power bomb in MMA. It's
Didn't
one of
look
the
like
most famous moments ever. Quentin Rampage Jackson, power bomb slams. Forget the guy's name. Whatever. Power bomb slams his way out of a triangle choke. So he's in a triangle choke,
Yeah, you showed me
lifts
that.
the guy up, slams him, knocks him out. Ricardo Arona. There, I got it.
Yeah. Darn, I was looking it up, man. I wanted to be a jerk about it. You showed me that video. It's nuts.
Yeah, but Kurt Angle did a pro wrestling
But it's
power
still
bomb.
it's a grappling power bomb. Like they're still hugging each other. I mean, the guy that's getting power bombed isn't just letting himself go. Like I would assume, like you need to be as close to the other person as possible when you're in that vulnerable position, right? Otherwise, you're just going to completely eliminate. So that's
He
something
just
that has no
bounced
training.
his head off of the canvas and knocked him silly.
Yeah, for him to.
A lot of the grappling is pretty silly. And what I really didn't like about it was the way it was shot. It was shot kind of like the way WWE shoots their matches now, with like the camera just shaking and shaking.
Yeah.
It was very disorienting. A lot of shots through the actual cage. So you've got like the fence obscuring your view. But I totally agree with you. Performances.
Oh my gosh.
Breathtaking. Like
Oh my gosh.
was rooting for this guy, this teacher,
Absolutely.
trying to save his family.
The
And
Joel-
then Tom Hardy, just such a wounded man,
Incredible.
fighting to just help this woman. He goes AWOL because like I need to help put money on the table for this woman.
Yeah.
And I don't care what happens to me after this fight. I'm gonna win. And I'm gonna help her and her family.
Spectacular.
Like
Joel
such
Edgerton,
two noble
Tom Hardy,
people.
Nick Nolte. Three
Yeah.
of the all-time best. And his relationship, Joel Edgerton's relationship with his wife, like, some of the most incredible performances, married with spectacular lines. Like when he's refusing, to go bankrupt and, they had to pay for this, can't afford their daughter's heart surgery. They spent all this money on that. I think it was heart surgery. And so now he's going to enter this tournament. He's like, we're not going back to an apartment. We're homeowners now. We don't go backwards. And she's like the voice of reason. This is a movie driven by male ego, basically, right? And she's the voice of reason saying, going backwards is you fighting again. That's what's going back. And he just was unwilling to accept that. He's like, no, it's not.
He's like, I'm not going to file for bankruptcy.
And we're not moving into an apartment.
We've been through too much already with his daughter being sick and stuff.
And yes, and also the ending was very unsatisfying. It ends, and then it's like, so now, okay, Joel Edgerton wins.
Did you want to see him like pay his loan?
No, I want to see what now happens with the reason that Tom Hardy went AWOL. The woman of his buddy.
I want to believe that it's a $5 million purse.
$5 million purse, and he was
Joel
going to give
Edgerton-
100% to this widower. If Tom Hardy won.
Widower would be the guy if his wife died.
Oh, I thought it was widower if it's just like present tense.
No, a widower is a man and a widow is a
Oh,
female.
I never knew that.
So this is how it plays out in my heart and what I want to believe. I want to believe that Joel Edgerton
Put up like half.
paid off his
2.5.
mortgage, put some money in the bank for his family and his children, got reinstated as a teacher, and put money in a trust for this woman and her family for his brother, and their relationship is repaired and they become a family.
We need to see that. Why not one quick scene where this widow goes to her mailbox and boom, there's a check. Why don't we get that? I just,
I'm okay with it not happening.
At all?
I'm okay with it.
Not
yeah.
one little scene, like a 2-second little because that check would answer everything. That him giving her money would mean we don't need to see them reconnecting because he went this far as to give this woman the money, so the brothers are back.
Because their relationship was repaired through the brutality in the cage, and I feel like Joel Edgerton, we already know he's such a good guy that he's not going to leave the wish of Tom Hardy unfulfilled. Plus, Tom Hardy made a name for himself in MMA overnight, proving that he's a big draw with the military. So once he gets out of the military prison,
how long is his sentence?
It's not gonna be that long.
Yeah.
He's going to have promoters helping him get out of jail. Mm-hmm. He's going to be a big time star. Joel Edgerton, he's going to be retired.
That's it. Yeah.
He's done. But Tom Hardy, he's going to have a career in MMA for years. He'll be a champion.
Oh God. And the crowd just ate him up, man. That badass mentality where you just knock a fool out and then leave.
Yeah.
Bail.
So
Great gimmick.
He set the ladies set. I see what you're getting at, but
just a little more closure.
I'm kind of like a guy that I kind of like an ending that
open-ended.
That's open-ended, leaves you hanging a little bit. I don't
we connect the dots and we assume.
Yeah, I don't like oversharing so much in a script.
Well, could have used a gag reel then.
Nick Nolte, man, I'm so sold on his abilities.
When he relapsed, listening to Moby Dick and stop the boat, Ahab, where are we going? It's like he's on this collision course and he's trying to reconnect by pushing his children, his boys, into this violent cage where they might come out concussed and or dead, and he's just drinking and it's not working. This whole idea he had of his brothers just inviting him back into their worlds.
Do you know what scene really got me? Was in the casino where Tom Hardy's just
throwing at him.
Change at him. Just his face. I really
that's what caused him to relapse.
He's an actor that he's been through so much personally. He's just seen it all. He's done it all. He's slept in a ditch. He's probably eaten garbage. Nick Nolte's been eating some garbage.
In a performance?
No, in real life.
Oh.
That freaking mugshot of him. Remember that mugshot?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's seen some shit, man.
Yeah.
He's been through stuff,
God.
and you see it in the performance,
yeah.
man. He's probably disappointed his own children just as much as this character has disappointed his sons.
Wow.
And I think we get that in this performance.
Beautiful.
He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the Academy Awards that year for this performance.
2011.
Yeah. Up against Christopher Plummer for Beginners.
That was great.
Kenneth Branagh for My Week with Marilyn.
That was even better.
I actually never saw that
I've never
movie.
heard of that.
Jonah Hill for Moneyball.
Okay.
And Max von Sydow for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. I've seen Beginners and I've seen Moneyball.
I've seen Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
That's that 9/11 movie, right?
Yeah. Some comedian was like, "Oh, is this a documentary about Brett Gelman?"
That's pretty funny.
But I don't remember the comedian's
Christopher
name.
Plummer won for Beginners. I remember liking that movie, but after seeing this, this was a very impactful performance.
Isn't it crazy how long ago 2011 was? Because I don't remember any of those movies, man. Gosh darn, we're going on 10 years. And yes, I remember. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of those movies. Actually, I think just Beginners is the only other one I've seen. And
Moneyball.
And Moneyball, yeah. But Jonah Hill's performance was underwhelming. Brad Pitt stole the show in that.
Yeah.
So did Chris Pratt. Oh, man. That's a good one. Moneyball was 2011, huh? How about that?
There's a line at the beginning that I really love that I made note of. Is that a part of the 12 steps, or does a guy like you get 24?
Get 24, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great writing, great
This is
acting.
a movie that I avoided seeing at the time because I'm so into MMA that like I don't want to watch a movie about it because I know it'd be just so far-fetched when like the actual MMA stuff was. But I'm sure a boxing fan would feel the same way about Rocky.
Everything around it was just so golden.
Was so good. Yeah.
You forgive it.
One thing that was really far-fetched was the fact that he went into that gym and it was $35 a month.
That's cheap.
That's really cheap.
Really? How much would that cost? It's kind of a rundown. Yeah, I know. And that place is training the greatest middleweight of all time. Because maybe that at that time in 2011, MMA is still considered this underground thing. It's not boxing. Boxing will cost you 120.
2011 was already kind of past the first peak. This was like the Brock Lesnar peak. So like they were hitting some of their biggest numbers at this point. So no, it wasn't an underground thing.
We got ourselves a best of front runner here.
It would definitely be $135 to $200 a month.
Okay.
Let's see.
Are these fun facts?
I love the training montage.
I do too.
It was very unique with the different.
Yes, great editing.
We
see literally 4 things at a time at the height because you get the build up to the event. It establishes how important this MMA tournament is because you get newsreels, and then you get the separation of their different training.
Yeah,
very Rocky-esque. Great montage.
I think we got to talk about Kurt Angle, another dialogue-less performance by him, but he was in it more.
He was a Russian in this.
He definitely leaned out a lot.
He looked incredible.
You texted me about his neck, and I was like,
I was watching this movie.
Oh, you were watching.
I was watching Crown Jewel.
Oh, okay.
He's in Crown Jewel, and this is 2011. I'm turning into that guy like, can you believe it was a year ago today? Or that was 10 years ago. That's crazy. So I'm saying 2011 was a long time ago, but it's not.
He could still turn his head.
Not that long.
It's not
ago.
that long.
It's not that long ago. And the difference with the way he looks now and then, night and day.
Oh,
his neck are his shoulders. He looked great. He looked in fighting shape in this movie.
It
he looked like he
leaned out to be a middleweight. It looked like he lost a lot of weight because
and he could move his neck. Like he can't move his neck anymore.
For my sign off, I saw this clip, this incredible promo that he cut. I'll have part of it for my sign off, but it was like one of the best promos I've ever seen him do. Never saw it before. Huh. And his neck at that point, it was like kind of towards the end of his WWE run, before he went to TNA. His neck was so thick. He was so huge.
Yeah.
He looked like twice the size that he was in this movie.
So when he went to TNA was 2008? That sound about right?
Sometime around there. Yeah. But he did a pretty decent job there.
Oh, yeah.
He was basically playing Fedor.
There's no way you can improve on that. There's no way you could make it worse.
Yeah.
Like it was okay, I have there's no dialogue. So how do I make the best of this? How do I do my best? And I cut weight, like he looked incredible. So I think his performance was spectacular.
I kind of think it's a damn shame that he couldn't actually compete in MMA because he'd probably be in better shape than he is now. To be honest with you, all the damage he took in the ring,
absolutely,
and all the drugs.
If he would, but he wouldn't be the star he was. So if he went from wrestling to MMA, he wouldn't be nearly the star because that's a much that's a bigger that's like the more likely transition.
It's just like bad timing. Yeah. Bad timing. If he just won the Olympic gold medal.
What a legend!
Where
are we putting
4 to 8 years after?
Right. So like 2000,
he'd be a huge star.
2000, not 96.
He's very charismatic.
Yeah, he's the best. Where is he ranked? Like, I want to put him exactly where you put him in my top 25.
He's definitely in my top 15.
Yeah,
top 15.
Yeah, he's
for sure.
He's like anywhere from maybe he's like 12 of all time.
I give this movie a solid 8.
I give it a So you hated the fireworks factory the same ways, different way. We hated it, but for different reasons. Because it
Well,
was
the way
a
it
little
was
too
shot
far-fetched, and
was
for me it was
very
way too
silly.
long. And
Yeah.
For me, it was long and boring. So what started out as 100% A plus dwindled down to I'm going to say a B plus. So I'm going to give it an 8.9.
Fun facts. Joel Edgerton tore his MCL in the cage during the production, halting fight scenes for 6 weeks. Tom Hardy suffered a broken toe, broken ribs, and a broken finger.
Whoa! All this for what you call
It didn't look real to me.
Yeah.
that sucks. What is this? The people that they're sparring with? People don't know how to treat beloved actors, like poor Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 3. Thanks a lot, HH, you racist monster.
Brendan Conlin may be loosely based on real-life UFC fighter Rich Ace Franklin, like the character Franklin was also a high school teacher who took part in cage fights for extra money.
Love it. Yeah, that's a great story. I mean, my gosh, just what these two brothers did on this huge tournament, globally popular. Doesn't matter who won the purse, right? They're already set for life.
Yeah.
That story. And I was thinking, like, what's a similar story in this? And I remember Don Fry. Maybe it was Glenn. Maybe it was
Don
Glenn
Fry.
Maybe it was Glenn Fry. Like, he used to be in the Eagles. Don Fry was a cop, though, and I was like, okay, that's an easier transition. I'm like, has there ever been a teacher? So that's cool. It's based on an actual fighter.
What I liked about the end was he's like, I forgive you. Do you forgive me? When they're on the stunning scene on the beach before the tournament starts. And it's just like Tom Hardy is just like, fuck no, I don't forgive you. I don't even know you. And then it was like him in a chokehold after having a fight with his brother where he's like, I love you.
And Joel Edgerton has the advantage. He's broken. He's separated his shoulder.
Yeah, in an omoplata, which is very rare.
Oh, that wouldn't happen? Oh, okay.
Well, it's really hard to pull off when somebody's slippery.
Oh, okay.
And they were both really slippery.
Yeah. So, but it's forgivable because, I mean, just a beautiful moment where Joel Edgerton knows he's won, and he's just like, we don't have to continue this. And Tom Hardy refuses. Just the sibling rivalry that ends.
It was the I love you made him tap out.
The tap was so beautiful.
Yeah, if he
beautiful.
didn't forgive his brother, he'd just let himself get choked unconscious.
You've done it again, because that isolated scene, seeing that close up of that slow tap, that's your end. You're right.
If he
You're
still
right.
hated him, he'd go to sleep. But he didn't hate him. He's like, you know what, you win.
That's cool.
I love you.
You know
too.
what? Yeah, I had to work that one out, and I worked it out throughout this movie.
Oh my god!
Because that tap answers all those questions. Will he give her any money? Will they be friends? Will they reconnect with the father? That tap says yes.
They love each other again.
To all. Yeah, you're right. And it kind of would have been squandered had they continued with a epilogue.
Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle played the Russian fighter Koba, whose nickname was taken from the moniker given to Joseph Stalin. In the original script, Koba was named King Kong, but it was changed for legal reasons. The brother of Gavin O'Connor's assistant, Samantha Ellison, suggested Koba.
2 questions. Did you think they were... Okay. When did you first realize that these two were brothers? Was it when they told us they were brothers? That's question 1. Question 2, wouldn't you have loved to hear Kurt Angle's Russian accent?
I'd love to hear his Russian accent to answer your questions in reverse. And I knew they were brothers just from the marketing of the film. I remember it like, these are 2 brothers that fight.
I forgot the marketing of the film, apparently.
But
I was thinking like, so they're definitely going to be in the tournament at the same time. So at first I thought it was like, these are 2 different worlds that'll converge into a 16-man single elimination tournament. And I was like, that's cool.
But you would figure it out. You figure it out in the movie when Nick Nolte shows up at Joel Edgerton's house,
and that's when I figured it out.
Yeah.
So I didn't figure it out. I was told.
So I want to flick chart Halloween 2, since we didn't do it last time. Can we do that, and then we'll do Warrior and call it a day?
Sounds good to me.
Halloween 2 or 3 Ninjas? 3 Ninjas.
Halloween 2.
Three Ninjas.
Three Ninjas did not have the profound effect on me that it did on you. You love that movie.
Better than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
All right, fine.
Escape
Yes.
from L.A. or Halloween 2?
Escape from
Escape
LA.
from
All
LA.
the way. Escape from LA is better than Escape from New York.
Star
Hands
Trek
down.
Generations or Halloween 2. This is the one
What
where
year?
William Shatner and Picard come together.
Well, that's pretty
For the first
iconic.
time.
You can't beat that.
Generations. Halloween 2 or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
What the
Iconic
heck? Interesting.
animated film.
Yeah.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Of course. I'm waiting. I think it's a Snow White
Halloween 2 or Alien versus Predator.
song. Oh, Halloween 2 for me. Alien vs. Predator.
I'm going to go with Alien versus Predator just because
Fine.
I really don't like Halloween 2.
All right.
Halloween 2 or Whatever Works, the Woody Allen movie with
Larry David.
Larry
David. A couple laugh out
That's
loud
very
moments.
Creepy.
It's super creepy, but you're watching Larry David for an hour and a half, and he's darn funny as Woody Allen.
All
so
right.
I'm going to say yeah.
I'll go with you on that one just because I hate Halloween 2. Halloween 2 or Green Lantern.
Halloween 2.
I'm going to pick Halloween 2. I really don't like Green Lantern.
One of the worst.
Halloween 2 or Hollywood Ending, the Woody Allen movie where he's blind.
Oh.
I really don't like that movie.
Yeah, I don't
Hollywood
either.
Ending, but it's better than Halloween 2.
Okay. I would say Halloween 2, but this is your chart.
Halloween 2 or Battlefield Earth.
This is your flick chart.
Battlefield
Earth.
At
There's a
least
reason to watch
it's
it.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
Halloween 2 or Santa with Muscles.
I'm going Halloween 2. Santa with Muscles was really bad. Remember how we reacted to Santa with Muscles? We did not react favorably.
I'll go with Halloween 2.
Thank you.
Halloween 2 is 1,431 on my flick chart.
Which is above and behind.
It's above Santa with Muscles. It's behind Battlefield Earth.
Thank you, flick chart.
Okay, and now flick charting Warrior.
The reason I drove down from Koreatown to the Pomona Valley, the flick chart of The Warrior.
Well, at least you can get some, respite from breathing in smoke.
Yeah.
Warrior or Freaky Friday?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Freaky Friday was stupid. Another changing places.
Warrior or Superbad?
Superbad.
Superbad's kind of a modern classic.
Superbad is one of the last movies where I saw in the theaters and then I rented it the day it came out.
It was just one of those like, okay, this is going to be a comedy classic. The moment you saw it.
So funny. So freaking funny.
Warrior or Gremlins 2, the new batch?
Gremlins 2. Sorry.
Man, that's tough.
That's a tough one.
Because
Gremlins 2 is like a really special movie for me now. But it's
I
like
kind of teared up a little bit during Warrior.
Warrior is a better movie, but I am ranking Gremlins 2 higher on my list.
I'll go with you. Warrior or Legally Blonde?
Oh, man.
These are tough ones.
These are really tough. God, Legally Blonde means a lot to me.
I'm going to go
Like,
with Legally Blonde.
This isn't fair for Warrior. We should flick our chart twice, probably.
Warrior or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? The first one,
God.
1990.
Poor Warrior. Of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Casey Jones, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This is ridiculous.
Warrior or Sister Act?
What?
Dang,
this is so
man.
unfair.
Sister Act.
Warrior.
Wow.
No, Sister Act.
Come on,
Sister Act.
man.
Sister Act. Warrior
I
or
watched-
The X-Files?
I watched Pet Cemetery with my sister, and she was so bothered by it, so freaked out. She ran to her room. Don't tell her I'm telling you this. And she was crying, and the only thing that could calm her down was Sister Act.
How old was she?
13?
Wow.
12? Maybe 12. 13. It was just the idea of I don't know. I think maybe there was a lot of cruelty to animals or
You're
something.
like that kid in Creepshow that gets the voodoo doll to torture his dad at the end.
What are you talking about?
No, but you're like that kid. You loved horror.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and- yeah.
But I was like, I knocked on Lee's door and was like, "Do you want to watch Sister Act?" And she's like, "No."
Yes.
Yeah.
Warrior or the X-Files, I Want to Believe. This is the X-Files movie that
Yeah,
came out
not
in
the 90s.
2008.
Yeah. Warrior.
Warrior.
If it was the original one that came out in what, 96?
Ooh, this
Damn.
is tough.
Okay.
This is going to really hit home for you right now.
Really?
Warrior or Ladybugs?
Oh, gosh. Okay, that's the name of my fantasy team, which, by the way, I am projected to clobber some Dennis's Dandy team or
That's
whatever.
the guy I beat last week.
Granted, he hasn't set his lineup yet, but
He took until Sunday morning to set
he
his
has.
lineup
He
last
doesn't have a
week.
tight end or a defense right now. It's like, dude, just get
Last week
get
he didn't
on
have
it,
a tight
dude.
end or a quarterback.
I set my lineup as soon as I can.
Like
on Wednesday?
I'm constantly shifting my lineup all
Yeah,
week.
yeah. And it starts on Wednesday, or Tuesday even. You know, it's okay. I haven't checked the waiver.
I'm gonna go Warrior.
Yeah, me too.
Well, the Ladybugs is good, but
It's good, but it's not. It's really not one of.
It's not the
I've seen it
best, yeah.
a dozen times.
I like it.
I like it as well.
But I like Warrior too.
I would even say that I love Ladybugs, but this. I mean, I just feel like Warriors just up. Like this is a tough
Warrior
or
or
list that's going up against.
About a Boy with Hugh Grant.
God, that was a great freaking
That's
movie,
a good movie.
man.
Oh, the ending of About a Boy is so
God.
good. I'm going with About
Yeah,
a
me
Boy,
too.
man. That
That's a
ending is
killer
a
movie.
tearjerker. About a Boy. I love Hugh Grant.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my favorite actors. So underrated. You should see him in Paddington 2. He's the villain.
Okay.
It's thinking. Sometimes it takes a long time to think.
It was like Paddington also.
Paddington
Me, you, and
Part
Paddington
2.
2? Oh, okay. You know what, dude? Warrior deserves a second. That was a tough
I think Warrior broke
gambit.
Flick Chart.
Because it expected you to pick it higher.
Okay. Warrior or Live Free or Die Hard?
Warrior.
Warrior. Okay. Warrior is number 702 on my Flick Chart, above Live Free or Die Hard, and below Varsity Blues.
Below Varsity Blues. Okay. Do you want to flick chart it again?
No. Go ahead and pick from the
That was
urn.
kind of an unfair,
There was a lot of
test.
tough choices.
That was, yeah.
But there's a lot of good movies out there. I mean, Warrior's not going to stand up to all of them.
Well, I'm going to pick from the urn filled with the souls of professional wrestlers in feature film. And my next selection is folded very delicately. Ferdinand.
Oh, John Cena animated film where he's
Is
a
it about
bull.
Ferdinand the Bull?
Yeah,
Oh, very cool.
Ferdinand.
Oh, this is going to make me cry.
Probably.
Because Elliott Smith has a tattoo of Ferdinand the Bull on his arm. Had.
I'm Ryan the Muffler Bruckner saying, I had 3 neck surgeries for you people. 3. I put my life on the line for you. My little baby girl, I didn't get to see her first steps. I didn't get to hear her first words because I was wrestling for you people. And my wife left me. I lost my family because I put my life into the business for you people.
And I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan. I'm still everything that makes this country great. And why? Because I'm a winner.